What's going on, guys? It's me and JT. Well, you can call me Nick, and that's right. We're back, and we're playing some more Doki Literature Club. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, it won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here, Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it could keep it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Cheery. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have had noticed in the first place. But I'm just reading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. Shall we know what the book is? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Ah, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front cover. That resembles something later. Remember that. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in the high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, JT? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, but because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling on, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. Excuse me. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get to the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It says I can feel her presence over my shoulders as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, that's nice. Very smooth. Touch over smooth, NJT. Oh wait, that's me. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Man, if I only showed this happening, Feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Ah, much better. Yuri takes her arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her finger. Ah. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. As if I can't feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Yeah. To turn the page. Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again. Our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you're being so patient with me. Yeah. Oh! Whoa. Oh, this is my history. It actually tells you everything. That's cool. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me. Okay, I just want to see something. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intermission exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as well as her own thumb, and under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment, but NJT, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Ah, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Because I don't even get to talk to you guys because there's so much reading. It's like we're reading. It's like I'm reading a book, but out loud to an audience. I guess I'm more meant that it's kind of cute. Ah, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I don't know. I just did that. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. Oh no. I might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. Ah, it's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write the poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why didn't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Hold on, can I see if I use my controller on this? No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. I just want to test it. I do the same myself. Ooh, I'm gonna go Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to you really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. Excuse me. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's a lot of specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in these writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter and fit the two together. The end result is that the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if our demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost Under the Light, the tender... Oh jeez, I don't hate running right, but I can't really read it. The tendrils of my hair illuminate... Oh, there's more. Illuminate beneath the... Oh no, there isn't, never mind. Beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms breathing air. How many times is it? Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickens. I flicken back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. No, it's beautiful. I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't like... Oh, she realised that took a while! Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah? That's a relief. Oh my... Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. I'll get $1 for each time. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. Yeah, I'm glad too that you made it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all in JT. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you do only glance at it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. It's impressive. Excuse me. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous with doing all this, but in the end I really enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, NJT. Me too. I'm gonna go say Yuri, because she's, you know, I know her the best out of these four. This is a good poem, NJT. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. Well, I didn't do it seriously. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you really are a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Oh, well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, NJT. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something only real good people will do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. That last bit though. This is just a guess spot. Did you wait until morning to write this? No. Just a little bit? You can't answer just a little bit or to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you weren't late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. That was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Let's go, Monica. Hi, NJT. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new in everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I am much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, NJT. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. It's that sort of barrier that we all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I had hand Monica my poem. Great job, NJT. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who's using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. And what do you like then? Yuri likes it when all readers are left to deserve their own meaning out of it. Well, I mean, the poem's literally just words. It's just like breakfast, classroom, dinner. I'm joking, but it's just random words. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, but both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. I don't know, I'm laughing because I was like, and then I'm just like, Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. Oh, there's a lot. Protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas already scorched with a permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. It's a lot of people putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video there. Actually, hold on, let's save real quick. Save, page 1, empty slot. There we go. Nice, very nice. There we go. Now our save should be there. If we click load, we can just load that. And here we go. Yeah, nice. Alright. So yeah, please leave a like, guys, and subscribe. Next video we'll be playing more Doki Doki, so bye bye.